We can speak about that the source of what we call the other side and the side of sanctity, the root, or the roots that actually descend into the world is the same. Okay, the root is the same. Okay, so what actually is in human development, in humanity, that actually calls for appearance of such constitutions of Haman or Hitler or whatever dictatorship that tries to sort of implement their interest through violence. What happens now is not only a revelation of the state or the unexplained state of mind of one dictatorship. It's actually a revelation of the state of everything that consider themselves moral, liberal, democratic. So we cannot sort of point out and say it happens only through someone who is evil, which sort of found an expression of his will. There is a permission that something like this will happen not only from above, basically from below. You know how many wars are going on now in which people are being killed, tortured? It's just because it's in our interest to know about what happens now in Ukraine. But the scale of it is even smaller than what is happening in different places in the world. But the West does not have a vested interest in there. So I think to sort of separate it without seeing our part in it is juvenile. A juvenile, and it's sort of I would like to explain it through Megillat Esther. At a certain point, Haman actually perceived that there is sort of a vacuum in the providence as it should be present through Israel, okay, or through one can say the general thought and consciousness that actually leads the world. So it gives in a way permission for something to rise in order for us to sort ourselves out in relation. But what Haman understands very deeply, that he wished to sort of connect himself to fate. This is why it said that he chose to lapid pour, okay, to allow fate to decide, because he was sure that he could recruit it to his side, okay, not as a punishing power, okay. So it's not an explanation, and it's not a good rescue or sanctuary for a family which are fighting for their food and safe haven now. But it's never been the case. There is a difference in terms of personal community that can act to relieve the pain and the strife, and understanding what is happening. Okay, and we cannot understand what is happening unless we are courageous enough to face it in ourselves, to face what in ourselves actually allows such reality to actually exist and to draw power from where. Is it clear? A man appears. A man appears always when there is a change. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now he does not appear in how would say in the fringe parts of the world. It appears always when there is a true struggle of powers in humanity. It will appear at the hub of power. Okay.
I guess the only thing I can't understand it, no matter what I do, I think the only thing to do is just to surrender to the higher.
It's not just to surrender to the higher. I think it's understanding the need that is being revealed now. Yeah, and that is not only surrender. It's a need actually creates a true prayer. So it's not sort of a recommendation, stay idle and just surrender. No, it's look at it, see the need that is rising, and see if you can, find the place in which this need you can represent the need of humanity. So what is the need now? Why is it happening?
I think that people they're so egocentric. I've been saying that for years. I just think they all the will to receive for the self alone is off the charts and has been growing.
Okay.
Incredible.
So it's okay. So when we look at it, we see that that there is a possibility to take or how I would explain it, and how to actually harness the power of the will of humanity to control its destiny. It's not only the will to receive. It's an ancient struggle between humanity's trying to be in contact with, in connection with what it should be, how it can be, which is not in its hand. Its definition is in the higher, or to try and take control through their vision, their morals, their ideas. So if it ends with idea against idea, it will always be war, because it's a question of interest that justify itself on the idea of interest. Okay. So it's really it's old as the Tower of Babylon.
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah.
Okay. So so when I'm asking when we look at it and we have what we have, the little that we have in terms of knowing, of studying, our commitment to the work should ask us the question: what humanity actually need or what it needs as a whole, that we can express as a prayer and a request from the higher. Okay, this what Esther is doing. She's uniting. She's uniting different interests of how to control and how to use the wealth of, let's say, of that dictatorship of Babylon at the time. It happens because something did not move itself into the next stage as it should. It's true about Israel, and because Israel is connected, and its mission actually is to do with all humanity. This is the question. In order for it not to come into the known argument of moral versus interest. Okay.
Yeah.
You can save life. Personally, if you can save life, you can do it. You know, this is the code. The way it's being handled throughout, it doesn't matter now whether it's the aggressor or the one who does not stop the aggressor. It's the same. They are moved both by interest.
Yeah. Okay. I'll sit with that. Thank you. Also, if you don't mind, there was this concept of collateral in the reading today that we did, that the Creator has collateral over us, and that we can't get out.
We can't.
Okay.
Well, we can't. Let's say, creation as a whole is throughout all the universe and the universes and all the worlds and the spirit worlds and our reality, this world, is inside his will to bestow goodness to his createe. It means createe and creation are, in a way, they are like a tabernacle. They have borders. So nothing can happen outside of it. And that guarantees that no one will be outside Reformation.
Nobody.
Or the world to come. Nobody. No.